Kenya Lynham here for back for another movie night review. Movie night review number 185, called Kathy. It's a short film and it is a horror film, short film. So let's go ahead and get into the movie. To the movie review. All right, so there's an exorcism and there's a young lad there. Him and his mother are there he likes to do groups with his mom, and they do exorcisms in the evening time with her coffee group. All right. So they go to meet, and the lady who's doing the exorcisms lately her name is Kathy. And she's been looking at the young boy there, all right? And she's been saying these things that he has the demon, and now somebody else has a demon, and she does the exorcisms in front of them. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure we recognize what's going on in the movie. There are exorcisms. There is a group of ladies. There is a Kathy, and yes, it is a Kathy, but she is with like a Holy Spirit or some sort that knows exactly who has it in the group. And she goes to point, but has it to point that there's something going on with the person. All right. Then if they go to act it out, everybody has seen. All right. Then she goes to close it out and says, I alleviate all strain. But instead of saying that, she just says, I don't like the substance. All right. Here. So let's talk about abusers and abusers and fornicators. Okay. Now, once you catch an abuser, the abuser gets caught. He's no longer the abuser. He is the abused if you catch it the wrong manner and if you don't catch all of it. That's because if he's frightened enough, he will be the saint that has to tell his whole story, but only to the light itself that doesn't recognize what it is. So nobody is to really say too much. So when the abuser gets held up, it's the same person the whole time because the other person's the one who did it. If we ever see the one who does it, we always see it visually, never, because we weren't there, but it's always explained by someone else, okay? So once we recognize it, we don't really take anything and say that you're struck down with a silver bullet because you're a demon. We don't really say that, but we watch others strike people down with bullets the whole time, and they may be silver. Sometimes they're gold, all right? So when we recognize who does what, we go to separate that as our story. And then sometimes people are that and sometimes they are not. If you walk up to a person and say they're homosexual, do you say that it's a crime at your region or do you say it's a crime at someone else's? So the abuser or the allegeder will always say he allegedly has seen something and he speaks the whole thing out. But when a person is recognized as beauty or in control, they don't ever get blamed. All right. So it's always the sheep, but it's never the zone of the wolf that really says it, because when we go to look at it, it's the most tiny or the most not recognized or the most quiet, and he never has been accused, or he just never has witnessed it out in light, meaning it's just an old piece of gnat or something and it doesn't do anything, of course. So when we go to blame it, if it sheds the light back on us that has always said this has happened, it will never, ever, ever get it. All right. So whenever I go into a room, if there's a whole bunch of abuse type of people, The talk is only abuse and will only go towards the light that sees it the most. All right. If I come out clean, no, only because they have to do it first. So then we have to recognize, do people thieve because I still need my cash that ever has said never to bother me when I'm working. Because if I call you an abused, then I need to get paid for that, but not the abused in the light. All right. So, all in all, just don't be the one who's blaming people so bad. Like in the movie, I'm trying to reference here though, so we're not blaming people for making, any kind of, downfall type of situations. But if it's a young guy and he heard that he was the crook, yes. All right. So just, not to blame people so bad. All right.